Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Palworld video, and today I'll be going over how to maximize your pal's damage. Now, this is not what the best pals are. I'll be having a separate video for that, but this is just how to maximize a single pal. Not really pal exclusive. Most of this should work for any pal, besides like some passives that not all pals can get. If you find this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the first important thing is to have good passives on your pals. Now, there are a lot of good things for attack. There can also be good balance of defense, but I like to just kind of go all in on attack, and I'll be going over a couple of these passives. Now, two big ones are Ferocious and Musclehead, as well as Legend. These are three very good choices here to have. Legend comes from legendaries, but you can breed them onto different pals. Not all pals can have Legend, but all pals can have Musclehead and Ferocious, as well as Serenity is really good for the active skill cooldown reduction, which is these active skills here. This Xenoguard has a lower version as well, which is Impatient, which is also really nice, that I need to test how good it is compared to having attack. If it's better DPS than pure one hit, that'll just be a lot of testing there. And then you also have stuff like Lucky, which comes from a Lucky Pal, which is like a shiny from Pokemon, but you can breed this onto non-Lucky Pals, which is just really good. 15% attack's really nice. Now, I probably wouldn't go over it like Serenity. It's a 5% difference, but you have the active skill cooldown. But you also have some like element stuff. Here I have Lord of the Underworld. This comes from certain pals, but then can be bred onto different stuff. Like Frostallion Noct comes with Lord of the Underworld. And then like you have Eternal Flame from Blazing Ryu, which is increased fire damage and increased lightning damage. Now, I've been really liking using this just as a pure dragon pal, so I'll probably breed this off of him to where it's just maybe like Lucky, or well, actually I probably can't do Lucky, but something different, maybe Impatient, or maybe a different element like Divine Dragon, which we have here. Plenty of other stuff to add to this to really min-max it, but that's really good to have. And so I have like this Blazemut here with Musclehead, Ferocious, Legend, and Serenity. That's my ideal combo, but when you're breeding, you can't always get what you want, and breeding is very important because there's also another thing you want to look out for, which are what we call the IVs. I'll go back to this. As you can see, I have all 100s on these, but they're not guaranteed to be 100, and you have to change that by breeding. This does defense, attack, and health. Getting these all to max are very important just because keeping your pal alive, but having attack is also really important because the more damage you deal, the less the pal is going to be dead, so it can't really hit you. So that's very important to have. Just max all these. I don't really know the balance between having these and this, and to get perfect, it's going to take a long time. So you may just want to settle for like in the 80s to 90s of these IVs, which is probably easier to focus in here. But with breeding, you can kind of do stuff to make it easier. I'm not an expert in breeding. I like to use the PAL editor, which is a third-party system, just so I'm not sitting around, and so I can actually just play with these guys. But yeah, breeding's complicated. I won't have a video on it anytime soon, so go look out there for some resources which will help make these pals easier. And then we're going to have to mention with the IVs with pals, You can get these fruits to increase them to 100. I've got life, power, and stout here, which you get from the raid bosses. They can be tough to farm. I will have a video on that, how to defeat them quickly, so keep an eye out for that. But that can be an easier way to get max IVs. And then I think a pretty obvious thing is upgrading your pals. This should increase their attack as well as increase their partner attack. Now, some things which are cool with pals, like the Blazemite, when you get on it, it enhances fire attacks while mounted. Now, I assume with how this wording, it increases yours and the pals. So being on the pal increases the damage a lot. When I was doing some testing with Blazemite and Blazemite Ryu, it seemed to increase it at 5-star around 100%. Not exactly, but around that, which is really, really cool, and very helpful. So definitely want to increase these up, either by just breeding to get a bunch of them or just catching them. Really just depends on how difficult it is to get. With, let's say, like a Gobfin, you wouldn't use this for pal damage, but it's very easy to catch. So I'd probably go get a bunch of pal spheres and just catch a bunch of them and then upgrade them instead of just breeding a bunch. And that's something that doesn't have to do with damage, but with health, having an alpha pal, which you can get from breeding now, there's a chance that bred pals can be an alpha. It'll increase the health of the pals, which is pretty nice. It does make them bigger, so it's kind of like a risk reward. It's easier to get hit, but you have more health. I don't know the exact like what's worth it, but I like having more health on my pals. And then you can also enhance your pals. You can increase work speed, defense, attack, and max health. So you would use your pal souls to increase up here to go max to plus 30%. It would cost these pal souls. I don't have them on me, but that's what it would cost to maximize them. Like this dragon has all of it maxed. And then you can actually use pals to increase your pals damage. So you could get like 4 pals here. This spark kick increases the power of electric pals. Now this does not mean that it increases electric damage. It just means your electric pal will do more damage even if it uses a non-electric move. It just boosts the attack stat that you see on the right on here. So you've got that. You got Spark Kick for electric, Cremis for your neutral, Poo Crates for dark pals, Boxicle for ice pals, Bristla for grass pals, Dumond for ground pals, Kelpsy for water pals, then Kelpsy Ignis for fire pals. I think there's also another one. I think it might be Ruby increases the attack of fire pals as well. And then you've got specific ones like B-Guard increases the attack stat of Elizabeth, and Sweet increases the attack stat of Sweepa. So these are important to have. The bottom stats don't matter at all. I just have Vanguard and Stronghold Strategist just to kind of help me, the player, if I have these equipped. Just makes my life better. And then you want to maximize them to maximum stars because it'll increase the partner skill, which increases the attack power. Again, bottom skills don't increase anything for the main pal, and neither does this, and neither the IVs don't, and nor do the pal soul stuff increase it. So you just need the pals at maximum full stars, and these guys are pretty easy to catch, where you probably don't need to do breeding, and you can just get a bunch of low level pal spheres and go after them. And then we also have some food here that you could give your pal. So I could give this to my Detragon, and he now has 20% increased attack for a period of time. You have the Alfredir Locomoco and the Mazzarina Cheeseburger. Now, I'd probably go the Alfredir Locomoco just because the Mozzarella cheeseburger, it stays full for a longer period of time, means they won't come to eat this, which means their attack boost could go before they're ready to eat again. Unless you're just manually doing it, then it doesn't really matter if they're full or not, so you can go either one of these. And that's it for the maximizing PAL video. I will be having a video that is based on the best PALs in Palworld, or at least the strongest I have found, and there's a good amount of them. Not really one specific one, and some that I found really cool. So make sure to keep an eye out, like and subscribe, so you can find this other video for the PALs later, and more Palworld content. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.